yeah, like our class, and then there was no classroom for us, so it was all very, okay, what's going on?
Hi, you're very big on the screen right now. Okay, so now we don't need that laptop there. No. Okay. I'll let you guys see these people here. This is our good-looking group here.
Oh, it's not that big though. It's okay.
Okay, let me just stay on Matt here. Okay. So, can you see everybody? Just wave.
I see 3 people.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're way off here. Here's Jaleesa. Wave.
Hi.
And this is Brian.
Hello.
Daniel. Mindy with the red hair.
Oh yeah.
And Matt is over here. I'm gonna use your account. Yeah, you go back there. And then I'll solve the echo problem in this room. I don't know if you guys are feeling the echo, but
Just a little bit.
okay, there is Matt. Okay. So you won't see me as I'm talking here. Let me turn this volume down. This is how we solve the audio issues. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to log into Canvas and kind of walk you through the class. But this is this format of the class is kind of unique, something that I started doing the last couple of semesters. So what we're doing is kind of like a hybrid class where we are going to meet in person, this group, and on Thursdays. And then last semester, the way we did it is that you were required to participate in at least 8 critiques. So you can pick and choose the critiques based on where you are in your project and what's going to help you out the most and what works for your schedule. I guess I'm just getting ahead of myself. So let me go to the syllabus and talk you through that. Everything is pretty much uploaded in the Canvas shell. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here.
Is Matt's computer supposed to have video?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is Matt's computer supposed to have video? Because I only see his logo.
Oh, hold on one second. I need to share as Matt. Now you should be seeing my screen.
Oh yeah.
I see it.
Okay. So I'm logging into Canvas, and I think, Sophie, you asked me about the syllabus, and I've been kind of working on it over the past couple of days, but it should be there now. So to see the syllabus, if you go to Canvas, you'll find it under cross-listed course, Intm 3050-01, 3050-40, so everybody can get into the same shell. I'll go right to the syllabus first. And for those of you guys who took information architecture with me last semester, it's kind of a very similar structure. So if you just look at the weight of all of the projects and what you're doing, we have these visual scavenger hunt assignments where I ask you to go and find something, and then you respond, and you turn this in online. We'll talk about that in just a second. There'll be one every 2-week block. So I kind of organize it in 2-week blocks. So in the schedule, it'll say week 1 and 2, I want you to do these things. So you kind of have a 2-week window to get things done. You will have a quiz every week. I have a lot of reading for you guys, especially this first week. And the quizzes are all based on the readings. Then you're going to have 3 hands-on projects. So we'll talk about your first project in just a second. But these are real research/visual projects, which I think my hope and plan is for them to be great pieces for your portfolio. And then your participation in critiques, that's an easy 10%. If you participate in 8, you earn all 10%. So that's sort of a gimme. And then your participation in discussions. I'm going to post a discussion question every week so that we can talk about issues you might be having or questions that you have about the reading. I'm kind of trying to leave these discussions as open-ended as possible. So that's the breakdown of how your grade is going to be calculated. So you guys just interrupt me if you have questions. So I don't know if you guys know much about information architecture. It's kind of a new discipline, but I'm just going to read the description of what it is. So information architecture refers to the structure or organization of an interactive digital experience. Students will gain a practical and historical and theoretical introduction to the information architecture development phase of the interactive media process. We will explore ways in which areas, sections, pages relate to one another, information organization, user roles, as well as their goals and expectations, content definition, and navigational structures. Through hands-on projects and regular assignments, students will gain skills in creating relevant planning documents and prototypes for an interactive digital media project. So if you take an information architecture, you're kind of doing things a little bit backwards because that class will focus more on the front end of the experience. This is more on the thinking about how to organize the experience before you put that polished, final, pretty interface at the end. Don't worry about that. There's going to be some. This first project has your name all over it. It's like a real designing kind of project. So I'm a little nervous about it, but I think you're going to really like it. So in some ways, it relates to research and organization and thinking about the big picture, but there's also a very large design component into this class. So the learning outcomes, upon successful completion of this course, students will be able to articulate concepts and terms pertaining to information architecture, relay the history and evolution of information architecture and why it has become a field of study, apply concepts of information architecture to develop planning documents for interactive media, document interactive media user personas and scenarios, develop paper prototypes, and create designs for interactive digital media pieces via an iterative process which includes user testing, evaluating, reflecting, and revising. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to do in this class. In the first week, all of the reading that I've given you is to give you an idea of why information architecture has become a discipline in the first place. Like, why is it important? What do information architects do? And how did this all come about? So it's really, if all of this that I just read sounds like Japanese to you, have no fear. I think you're going to have a much better understanding of what this field is and why it's important after you do the reading this week. So that's kind of the theme of the week. The way that we're structuring the class, our face-to-face meeting times, and when I say face-to-face, these are scheduled times where we're meeting in person or just through Google Hangouts. So some of I know that you guys in Leiden, all of the meetings will be through Google Hangout. However, the people that are here in St. Louis, they have the option to, sorry, I just want to make sure I was recording this. They have the option to come and meet in person or jump in just through Google Hangouts. So if you're running late and you're in your pajamas at 8:55 on a Tuesday or Thursday morning when we're planning on meeting, just run to your computer and get on the Google Hangout. Okay? You are welcome to come to all of them if you want. There's a lot of great information that comes up in critiques, and I think we all learn a lot hearing people present their work. I think that there's so much learning that happens in these critiques. So I set this up as a Google Hangout on air, which means that the video gets recorded to YouTube, and then throughout the semester I create a log, a page of all of those video critiques so you can go back and watch them if you weren't there. But to receive full credit for the 8 participation times, you have to be prepared to show your work. Does that make sense? Most of the time, the easiest way to show your work is to just, we take turns sharing screens. And so to save your project in PDF format, and just pull up the PDF. Most of the things that we're going to do are either written or visual in nature. So PDF is probably the easiest format, and then you share your screens and you kind of walk us through your work. Okay. So if you're working in like Adobe Illustrator, I mean, you can show us it in Illustrator, and you can save a PDF, or if you're working in Microsoft Word or Adobe InDesign and you're building a PDF, that's pretty much what the tools you're going to use to build your projects in this class. I didn't schedule any other critiques because I wanted to talk to you guys first about your suggestions. I'm planning on having an in-person meeting every other Thursday, so that we'll get together every other Thursday. So we'll probably meet in this classroom at least 8 to 10 times throughout the semester. But then if you guys have suggestions for other times that might work, you know, if we have them really late in the day, in Leiden it's like 6 hours later, isn't it?
Yeah.
7.
7. So I can schedule, if you have suggestions about other times that might work for you, please just send me an email and I'll put together a schedule of like 16 to 20 different critique times so that you can plan ahead and make sure that you get all of your critiques in. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Are Tuesday mornings at this time good for you guys as well?
No, I got classes all day.
Okay, so well, that would be Tuesday afternoon for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I might do a couple of non-in-person ones on Tuesday mornings, and then I'll do some Saturday morning ones. I think mornings are going to be the best since these guys are 7 hours ahead. Is there any other day of the week that works well for you guys?
I don't have classes on Mondays at all, so Monday I'm pretty flexible. And the rest of the time I kind of have 2 to 3 classes on a day, so it might be hard.
Okay, well, I think if this time, there will definitely be 8 to 10 meeting times on Thursday mornings, so you can just stick to Thursday mornings and get all your critiques in. But I'll pepper some other times throughout the week just for flexibility. That sounds good? You guys still with me?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Hi. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the first module. And like I said, I've set this up like week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that we're working in 2 blocks. Okay? The only one that I've published that you should be able to see is the week 1, 2 block. Okay? So for week 1 and 2, like I said, there's a lot of reading and watching. I have like a 20-minute video that I want you to watch, which is an interview with Richard Sahlwerman. Does anybody know who he is, by the way? BT Dubs? No, no idea? Well, he's relevant because we're studying information architecture. He actually coined the term information architecture. And what is also interesting about him is that he started the TED conferences. So he's a very interesting person, and he's going to talk in his video, you know, everybody's interested. The TED conferences have become such a phenomenon. He's going to talk about, you know, why he came up with this term and why it became relevant and all of that. So I think that's an interesting interview. He's written a lot of books, and oh, by the way, I think I just gave you one of the answers on the quiz. You're welcome. He also wrote a book called Information Anxiety 2, and I have a chapter for you guys right here to read, and that's by him. And then we're going to read a chapter from Edward Tufte's book, Envisioning Information, and then the first chapter of a general text we're going to use pretty frequently throughout the semester. It's called Information Architecture for the Web and Beyond. And again, all of these readings have to do with what information architecture is, and then Tufte's reading gets into how strategies for presenting information. So the theme is, yes, times have changed. We have an overwhelming amount of information in our lives. How do we structure it and organize it in a way that it's understandable? And this is our big task as interactive designers. You're going to get on a project where you're making a ginormous website. And the question is, how do you make this understandable? How do you orient people when they come to this website that they know what it is and they know how to find the information that they're looking So this is all geared to starting to introduce you to this concept. As I was going through the readings myself and creating quiz questions this week, I thought about how best, it is a lot of reading, so how best to help you guys. What I would do if I were you is to try to do the reading more in like a block so it's fresh in your mind before you take the quiz. And what I would also do is when you stumble upon big ideas in the reading, and there are a couple of moments where it's like, you know, some summaries are like strong statements, make a note of those, you know, put a little, if you print out these readings, put a post-it in there, you know, take some notes about what you see as some of the big ideas, and then go and take the quiz. So do your reading. Some of the questions are going to be completely obvious if you've done the reading, like who coined the term information architecture. That's going to be pretty stinking obvious if you've even looked at the reading. But some of them might require a little, you might have to go back to the text. So go through the text, watch the video, make some notes, and then start the quiz, okay? I think that's your best strategy, because it is a bit of reading, a lot of reading. So the quizzes I've set up to be due the Friday of the second week at midnight. So this would be a week from tomorrow at midnight, the quiz gets closed. So everything for the 2-week block is going to close at midnight of that Friday night. So you guys have a week and a day to do this. Do you think that would be more helpful if I did it the Sunday night of the 2-week block? I could change that if you wanted to. Do you guys have an, Katie and Sophie, do you guys have an issue? I can change the quiz. So if we go back to the module, I can make the quizzes due on the Sunday night of the 2-week block, so you have another weekend to get it done. Or would you prefer it due on the Friday night of the end of the 2-week block? Okay, I'll change it. So let me make this. So we'll make that, it is the 24th. Okay, so now it's going to be due the Sunday night at the end of that 2-week block. And then I can make sure that the readings are still available then as well. Okay, I'm realizing here that I'm missing a couple of things that I was going to add. I have a discussion question that, so we talked about reading and quizzes. Each week you're going to have a bunch of reading or videos to watch, and then you'll have a quiz based on it. You don't have to buy any books right now because I'm still kind of, I used the text last year for this class that was really terrible. It was just really theoretical, and I don't think students got a whole lot out of it. So I'm changing up the text quite a bit because of that, and I couldn't really, I'm kind of making it up as I go along in terms of the reading and the watching and relating it to the projects that we're doing. I'm just posting everything as PDFs, so you don't have to worry about buying anything. It's all going to be there for you. Okay? I know that's probably not, that's breaking copyright laws, but sorry.
Access not found,
Oh, well, okay. Okay, well that's good. Okay, I'm going to go back to the syllabus to make sure that we cover everything. The visual scavenger hunt, I thought I wrote it for the week, but I didn't. I will have it up there like later today. So your visual scavenger hunt is usually one paragraph of writing with a visual example as well. So this week, I actually thought of what I was going to, I was going to ask you to find an example of some type of a graphic, a printed material, or online that uses the concept of small multiples to convey information. And you don't know what small multiples are because you haven't done the reading yet. So the Tufte reading is what talks about small multiples. Okay, so I will post that later today. And all you have to do is, these guys are used to it because they did it for the other class, but all you have to do is include some visual example, like a screenshot or a picture that you've taken of it, and then talk about it and why you're using this as an example. Okay. So each week, each 2-week block, I'll ask you to do. It's called the visual scavenger hunt because I'm asking you to look for something and then provide that example back. I don't know why I didn't post it. I forgot. We talked about critique. The discussion question. I'm going to have one discussion question, and if we look in. The question this week is, how has your perception of information changed based on the reading and watching you've done this week? Why do you think we are starting this course talking about information? Do you ever feel overwhelmed by information? When and why? So somewhere around here, I posted what the expectation is in terms of discussion participation, and now I have to figure out where I put that. I wrote it somewhere, and now I don't know where it is. It's discussion participation. Each 2-week block, I will post a new open-ended discussion question related to the topic we are studying. To receive full credit for participation, you should make at least 2 posts, respond to the question that you posted, and comment on one of the questions or my posts. Please keep in mind that 2 posts is the minimum requirement to receive full credit. So I'll keep record of discussion participation, and as long as you do the 2 posts, then you're good. That credit. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, so let's talk about the Big Mama projects. And again, I need to add that to the module. I didn't put it in the week 1-2 module. Let me move that into the module right now. Let's see. I'll add project 1. Project 1 is called Envisioning Information. And I need to make a few edits to it. I didn't finish editing it out, but at least you'll be able to get started on it. And this is going to be due February 11th. So what I don't want to overwhelm you with this project. So I actually have some finished examples of student work because a friend of mine gave me this project. She's done it in her class. And the finished examples turned out just beautiful and amazing. But I don't want to freak you out by showing you the finished product at this point. So this will be due February 11th, and I want to make it available to you right now so you guys can go in and look at it. So it is available from Monday until the rest of the semester. So, like I said, I didn't write this assignment, but it's been done before, so I'm a little nervous about it, but I think you guys are going to do an amazing job on it. So it starts with a quote, "Once I was a scuba diver in a sea of words, now I zip along the surface like a guy on a jet ski." What do you think? Do you have any thoughts about what that means? Right, or just generally how people pick up on information. There's a lot of skimming and not a lot of diving deep into all of these words. So most of us utilize some form of digital communication towards establishing a secondary online persona, such as Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, etc. We could not have predicted the broadcast power of the 140 character limit for Twitter, or how a 8-second Snapchat image can make a quick connection to our friends and family. The mundane details of our everyday lives are quickly curated using Instagram's nostalgic lenses and scattered throughout Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Flickr, Foursquare, and even other social media outlets. What does Privacy 2.0 offer in terms of online communication, and how has that affected our interpersonal and social interactions? These technologies and social media outlets blur the boundaries between our private, personal, and external lives. How do these digital modes for communication change our relationship and social interactions? Do you think digital technologies have enhanced or stunted interpersonal communication? How have such online technologies benefited and violated our personal lives? These are some big questions to think about, but don't worry about it too much yet. I don't want to get too deep. What I want you to focus on is this first part 1 of the assignment. Your assignment is to keep a detailed diary for the next 72 hours or 3 days of all your digital communication. It's going to take quite a bit of discipline. So you're going to need to carry around a notebook with you at all time, or record it in your phone at all time, like in your notes area of your iPhone or something like that. So this includes cell use, texting, email, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, online gaming, etc. Anytime you communicate, either person to person or broadcasting updates about yourself online, is considered fair game and should be logged. So this is digital communication, by the way. So you're not like if you talk to me after class, unless you email me, that is it. So you have to figure out a good 3-day time period to be able to create this diary. The content from your diary will become the data that you use for this assignment. The data is only as good as the documentation, so pay close attention to your actions and keep highly detailed records. Okay, so about the diary. I don't even want you to look at part 2 yet. I just really want you, you've got enough work to do. I just want you to come by next week, have collected this data. So part 1 of this assignment investigates the accumulation of raw data into comprehensible information and create an awareness of the frequency and duration and modes of communication. This entails gathering a data set and defining methods for structuring that data. We will discuss this within the next discussions. First, for the next 72 hours, make a note every time you answer an email, answer or send a text, update your Instagram, etc. Keep a notebook with you at all times for the next 72 hours, as mobile use tends to be sporadic but frequent, making it easy to forget documentation. Your diary should contain the following. List communication method. So you need at least 5 different modes of communication to make this interesting. And I think everybody probably does communicate in 5 different modes. If you email, text, phone call, and then maybe you post something on Twitter, Facebook. You know, there's 5, or maybe you log into an online game, or you go to a forum. There's probably, I think everybody can come up with at least 5 different ways that they communicate. Attributes. List the details of the socialization. You're going to need at least 6 attributes to organize it going forward. So using the principles of Richard Solomon's latch, which you'll learn about in your reading, information, anxiety 2, location, output, time, category, hierarchy, identify 6 unique methods for which you can sort your communication. You may use some creative interpretation in choosing your organizational methods. However, it is mandatory that you know the mode for communication, so like email, text, whatever. Some attributes might be time of communication, duration, frequency, and the person who you are communicating with. So for each, you want to make sure you collect enough information for each time that you communicate. So text to mom, 5:47 p.m., 2 nodes. Maybe you make a comment about what it was about tuition payment. I don't know. What other attributes can you connect to that particular burst of communication? And the more attributes you connect to that moment of communication, the more you're going to have to work with in terms of sorting and organizing it. You get what I mean? Okay. Or socialization organized by categories such as flirting, business, or family. Again, you may create these categories later on once you have your collection of data. But make sure that you have enough information, you collect enough information that you can categorize it going forward. Both methods clarify the organization of the diary. However, one is personal, the other is not. For this assignment, both methods are constructive, and you probably need to use a combination of both to have 6 attributes. So think about that. Think about how you can categorize each of those pieces of communication. Okay? Does it kind of make sense? I mean, what else do you want to collect? In my mind, it seems to make sense. It seems like it would make sense to have this organized in Excel, but you're not going to have access to Excel. You know, I think spreadsheet would make the most sense because each row would be a time, a specific burst of communication. But you probably are going to have to write it in a notebook that you carry around for 3 days. So think about it in terms of columns. Who you communicated with, how you communicated, what it pertained to, and the length of communication. As much information as possible for each record, so that you can come up with 6 attributes to categorize this bit of information. You guys, what do you say? That's a good question. I've never done this project before. I think I would think that each one, but let me look at the final example to give you a better answer on that. Yeah, I kind of feel like that would be really tedious. If you're text messaging back and forth with someone about how long the text messaging occurred, like for 7 minutes I was texting back and forth with so-and-so regarding, I think that the conversation for text message could be one data point.
I did a video log last year with something like that. It was like instant messaging would be instant messaging 5:47 to 7 o'clock, about 30 messages or something.
Okay, yeah, so maybe include how many back and forth were. What did you do with the data?
It's the same basic thing. I only make for 24 hours.
But did you make a diagram of it?
Yeah, we had, she gave us an example sheet, so we had it broken down by the time, and then what time of day it was, and then there was like 6 different categories for how we could enter it in, video, text, TV. It was just like different media, not fiction. But yeah, and then there's also like the amount of time you spent reading it, so it's less detailed than this.
Yeah.
It ended up being essentially there's not two things.
I see. But did you gather that data? Did you do it?
Yeah, that was just for like gathering it up. Supposed to with the project that I did, we had specific, this is what I did this time. Like, it was just like for drawing.
But you didn't create any kind of visual display of that information?
Visual, no.
Okay, okay. So the emphasis of this project is on interpreting that data and displaying it in a visual form to communicate and gain insight about how you are communicating. So how you can take this collection of data and turn it into something visual that helps us understand how you communicate. I want to be able to look at your output, your final project, and be like, oh, Mindy is a Facebook user and she texts with her boyfriend every day. You know what I mean? I want to be able to learn a snapshot of your life. So your challenge is in taking this big data set and making something visual out of it so that we can understand this information quickly and efficiently. Does that make sense? So the emphasis is about envisioning information, which is the first part of the movement. You got it? When I was thinking about this project and I thought about, well, could we do this project where you've gathered a collection of data about something other than your communication? You know what I mean? Like, not that Mindy's 72 hours of communication is the most compelling set of information ever. But I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we took a collection of maybe 100 facts or 100 data points about poodles or something like that? Wouldn't that be interesting to develop this project around a completely different data set? But being that this is the first time I've done the project, I kind of just want to stick to the plan and see how this turns out first. Don't worry, the other 2 projects I've done before, so I know they'll work this time. So this will be interesting. I think you guys will really like to see the final project. And I don't want you to be thinking too far ahead at this point. So just focus on collecting the data, and during this 2-week block, by the end of this 2-week block, having something, have it done for next week. I mean, having the data there. And if you want me to look at your data, that's great too. So the next time we have a critique, it'll be about just showing your data log and thinking about how you're going to categorize it. Okay, so you will have done this reading and know about categorization of data, and so we'll be talking about that in the next critique. Got it? Yes.
Just to clarify, are we recording data that we're receiving, messages we're receiving, or sending out?
Sending out. Anytime that you communicate out, not just absorbing information. Got it?
So would you be able to look through and see or witness digital format of any kind, and that's not a data point because you're not responding?
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be putting information out there, whether it's in the form of a post or in an email or whatever it is. It's you communicating. And you might be responding to something, but you have to be putting information out there. Yeah.
So I do a lot of writing and then I post that. Am I categorizing the amount of time that it takes me to write the thing and then post it? Or, yeah, okay, but the entire time?
Yeah. Then we'll learn something about you from that, wouldn't we? Maybe did not do your homework because you write the morning. We'll learn about your behavior from that way. Okay.
What if we don't have 5 different formats of digital communication?
You email. You call people, right? You don't call anybody? Ever?
Well, I receive calls.
You don't? Yeah, okay. And you communicate in those phone calls.
That's through, yeah.
So that's one. You
That's
email.
email and phone.
Do you text?
No.
You don't text anybody. Do you use social media?
No, not even Facebook.
Really?
I told you this before. This isn't in this degree, but I don't have Tumblr or Snapchat. Well, those are brand new compared to what I've been working with.
Do you do any online forums or anything like that?
It's the same drama that we had one of the classes during class.
Okay. Let me think about it. I don't really have a great solution. Does
I
anybody else?
can record as much as I can. I don't know about 5 different.
So all we have is email and phone.
And yeah, I don't message anybody.
Well, I do it
Yes, but I don't chat.
But yeah, like if you're sharing achievements or whatever, but then you can
Sure, what do you
well, like, it seems you had Steve.
You've seen.
how is that? Sharing?
Because it was in your account that you are playing this many hours or that you got an achievement in this game. If you're not sharing it, it does.
That's not me. So.
It is, you send it. You're not doing it deliberately, but it does send it.
Interesting.
So that might work.
That's 3.
Right.
But that'll only be Saturday, Sunday. But I can do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. Okay. So what else could you use? You don't chat.
Even when I'm online. So I've been working with these guys for about 5 to 8 years, and it's basically, hey, what's up? And we're out doing stuff.
Wait, when you're doing stuff, what do you mean?
Like, paydays and for graphic photo or
Maybe
space
the different-
engineers. But we don't communicate. We're working together so that we know what all the other people are trying to do. And it's like, not what I mind, like, look at these, are you able to do stuff? And go, oh, I know what he's doing. Work on a single computer.
Maybe these gaming environments that you're in, maybe those have to be different groups.
Okay. Might actually have to log into a second one from and mess around in there.
Okay.
I do have some in mind.
Okay. And then if it's 4, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Try to make 5 different ones. Do you ladies over in Leiden have any questions about anything so far?
Nope.
I owe you guys the assignment for the visual scavenger hunt for week 1, 2. And I will get that up there today. But I think you guys have everything else to get started. And then I'll update the schedule as well today. Under the pages area, I'm not sure how, if you go to home and then pages, right now there are no pages there. What I'll do is I will edit the front page so that with links to all of our YouTube videos from past classes, so you guys can watch with some of the old critiques. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Our next, well, please, I'll email everybody and put everybody in the circle and stuff about what the schedule is. Our next in-person meeting is not going to be for, it won't be next week and it won't be the week after that, but there will be plenty of critiques in between, and I might do an in-person one on a Tuesday morning, just so that people who want to meet face-to-face will have an opportunity between now and then. Just because I have to go to a conference 1 week and I'm out of town for fun next week. So I'll figure out a solution for people that want to meet in person. Okay? What did you say? Yes, I will. I will make a whole proposed schedule, and actually I will create an ICS file so that you can put it into your iPhone and get alerts, which I think will help me as well. Remember when I said they're going to be. Yeah, Frank.
And then right after you meet the next time, isn't that the house time? Like the next time there would be a meeting, that's the house street.
No, why? Well, you're not in.
Oh no, it's February. Okay, that's one of the month.
Yeah. No, I'm doing a class where we go to New Mexico over spring break, but that's 8 weeks from now, so we're good. All right, lovely Leiden ladies. I'm running you in unless you have any questions.
Well, so for the next 2 weeks, you're just going to post assignments for us to do, and we just log into World Classroom and just hand those in and finish it with the attached reading. So it's kind of like self-study, or?
So what you will do in the next 2 weeks, you just have to make sure you do the reading and the quiz, participate in the discussion, and do the first visual example scavenger hunt. However, in the next 2 weeks, we will have a critique or 2 scheduled. So there will definitely be a critique at some time next week. I will post the complete schedule later today.
Okay, super.
Okay.
So I will probably create like 2 different times where you can participate in a critique, so that you can have your log done, and then I can comment and give you feedback and all of that. Throughout the semester, there will probably be like 16 to 20 critique times, and you just need to make sure that you hit 8 of them at the very minimum. And you participate when you have work to show, or you can just log into the critique and watch real time, or you can watch it after the fact if you just want to see what happened.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I organize it all in terms of modules, but it'll be the same thing from module to module. Each 2-week block, you'll have reading, a quiz, visual scavenger hunt, and a discussion. And then these 3 big projects, which will be spaced throughout the whole semester. Got it?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I will email you when I have the schedule and everything updated, but I will do it later today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Feel free to email me if you have any other questions offline, okay?
Will do.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I actually recorded that. Okay, so I will update. Do you guys have any questions here?
So when do you meet the 72-hour diary?
Whenever it's convenient. If you want feedback on it, I would try to do it in this first 2-week block at some point. I think I will schedule a critique early next week, and then maybe one, I'll probably do it on the early side next week, and the week after that, just because of issues with my schedule. So you probably would like to get your diary done before the next critique, so that you can participate and get some feedback on your diary and how you might organize it. So just give me a little time today to kind of figure out what might work. I just wanted to hear about people's schedules and see what would work for everybody. But it sounds like Tuesday mornings, Monday mornings, maybe some Friday mornings. I'll just kind of, make it work throughout the semester. You guys good? Okay, maybe I'll do Monday morning and Friday morning next week. And if you guys want to come in on a Friday morning, I can be in person too, because I have to be on campus the week on Friday morning. So anyway,
so this kind of like